It's gonna come across well. This whole Prairie session thing.
I would blow out of here every year if I could now.
Yeah, and like songs like this, like you know, right? Like Young Bones, like this, like don't be afraid to like
every year if I
put
could
some
now.
reverb on there.
Yeah, make it sensual. I am not afraid. Not afraid anymore. Don't be afraid. That's cool.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Again.
Yeah, just give her.
My name is Matthew Robinson, and the song is called Be Gone Long. About you leaving the city, I think it's good to get out. And you'll be leaving in spring, when the wind just can't seem to calm down inevitably. This was bound to go down. You can't box a heart that leaves pieces in every town. And please don't be gone long. Try to stay in contact with home. Yeah, please don't be gone long. And try to stay in contact with home. And you've been doing everything to keep us in the black. And now you're leaving the city for a bigger check. And the whole damn thing has got me hoping you come back. If you unbox that heart, just remember where it was wrapped. 'Cause you won't be gone long. And you'll try to keep in contact with home. Yeah, you won't be gone long. And you'll try to keep in contact with home. 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 You shouldn't leave it now. Home. It'll be here when you get back. Home, you shouldn't leave it now. Home, it'll be here when you get back. 'Cause you won't be gone long. And you'll try to keep in contact with home. Yeah, you won't be gone long. And you'll try to keep in contact with home. The song's called Young Bones. trees turn to dying sun, and the winter white comes, I will leave. With the initial thought of returning home, now the novelty is wearing off, I should leave. And I think it's cruel that everything bothers me, and crueler still that it won't ever stop. I'll still leave. So I feel so old in my young bones, get so tired of the way things go. Old in my young bones. You felt my body through the telephone, and I was further sinking low, and I was still. And like a nail you hit me on the head, with several reasons to get out of bed, a slow moving will. Cause I'm old and my young bones get so tired of the way things go. Old and my young bones, I've grown tired of the way things go. Old and my young bones. Young bone, light up, light up. Bones, young bones, light up, light up.
Good.
This is a new song, simply called the Touring Song. What's the venue like tonight? And will it take all day to drive to the next city? And how was your room you had last night? And were you able to reach your wife, or was she just too busy? Could have been the drives that took us far, highway ones and rental cars, or it could be lack of sleep. We He had family at war, lovers out the door, and babies brewing in our sleep. And I don't know what I need more. My own bed with this new floor, I just can't fall asleep. When I look back on trips like Europe, you were all in season and you flourished, and I was just green. With all my patience running thin, found a mouth to put my foot in every city. Could have been the drives that's too long, traffic stops, not old bonds, or it could be a lack of sleep. And I could use a night off from this voice and this cough, or I'll get my rest next week. And I don't know what I need more. My own bed with this new floor, I just can't fall asleep. I don't know what I need more. Oh, I don't know what I need more. Oh, and I don't know. Could have been the cars, could have been the drives, could have been the sleep, could have been the floors, could have been the love, could have been the flights, could have been the wars. I can't wait, well, I can't wait, well, I can't wait, well, I can't wait to get on to you.
Yeah.
You broke through light sweat when your dad grabbed the check, 'cause you know that our debt is too big for our arms, and worse it will get before the better will set in our hearts, in our hearts. And sometimes regret, well, it makes us forget how current we are, and that we should keep our dreams fed. So keep working nights, and I'll keep writing lines, trying to dismiss an attempt to reach height. We'll grow old, we'll grow up, and the cowards we become tend to be harder to hide. We'll grow old, we'll grow up, and the cowards we become tend to be harder to hide. So keep those visions of lakes and late summer dates, a thought you can cross every once in a while, 'cause I'll be booking more shows and heading out on the road, so we can go where we want with no heat from no one. We'll grow old, we'll grow up, and the cowards we become tend to be harder to hide. We'll grow old, we'll grow up, and the cowards we become tend to be harder to hide. Wait up, wait up, you have changed just how you look into my eyes. Wait up, I don't know just how to change, but I'll try. I'll grow old, I'll grow up, and keep holding your love close to mine, and make it quicker to find. I'll grow old, I'll grow up, and keep holding your love close to mine, and make it quicker to find. What I'd like, what I'd like, what I'd like, what I'd like, what I'd like is to save face to name.
All right, constant and fixed.
Woke up and the south side of the bed was cold. Once again you're up and on your own. You were delicate enough that I never felt you move. Sometimes I feel it unfair that the morning only seems to like a lonely you, and always there it is, constant and fixed. And always there's a night for me, and I've learned to laugh like we are close friends who are slowly getting used to it, how lonely I am. You sleep while I dream, we are busy, busy, and I can't keep from lying. This house that we're in and the weather on our skin, it's a wonder how we keep from crying, if ever, but all the time. Back out on the porch again in the wind, cigarettes and wine when money's sin. I'm still not getting used to it, should just quit. I could go out playing every night, she said. play every city that don't pay for it. So as long as I can breathe inside, man, she's a good wife. I sleep while she screams, we are busy, busy, and I can't keep from lying. I wish this money that we need would come from somebody but me, 'cause I can't make a dime, all with playing all the time. Always playing all the time. FM. My name is Matthew Robinson, and this song is off my latest record, something that we did. This is called Good Week. I didn't notice you were paying attention. I didn't get that from the way you were doing that out in front of my heart. There's something in the way, this willing deception. You just stepped out of the car and drove on home and slept well under your stars. Had a good week. This is familiar, I've been here before. It's a blind lead when you go into the corners. It's not too long now, you'll make the call, cautions will leave. You found a new one. Kept telling myself it's a brave idea. You're safe in the dark, your hesitation showing signs of a thought of a jealous one. Maybe I was wrong. This time you haven't touched just right. And all bets are off when you allow for that love. We had a good week. This is familiar, I've been here before. It's a blind lead when you go into the corners. Yeah, we had a good week. This is familiar, I've been here before. It's a blind lead when you go into the corners. When you go into the corners. To the corners, oh,
ever thought about skydiving?
But what?
Skydiving.
What's that?
Skydiving.
Oh, never. Nope,
No.
sorry.
Beautiful. We're good to go.
My mom did it once, and
I don't either. I just figured we might be one of those guys that would like snowboard, skydive.
that would be cool.
So this is a song called Progress Ship. I initially wrote it thinking it was about somebody else, and then by the time it was finished, I realized it was directly about myself. So it goes something like this.
I was only confused. I was only half in love. Never not in love. Never not in love. And if you don't come in, baby, let me down easy. And if I don't forget, babe, don't take the time to remind me of all this shit. High upon your shelf, sweetheart, what you missed is that you brought this on yourself. And it's not bad, and that's just it. I only wanted to explain myself in full detail, and that's just it. I get to going on and on. I don't quit. Instead of moving this progress ship, I'm stuck in reverse on a hill. I found a note from your past, and I found pictures you keep down below important shelves. So what do they mean to you? Why do you need to view all the failed last? The ones that did not work. And it's not bad, and that's just it. I just wanted to explain myself in full detail, and that's just it. I get to going on and on, and I don't quit, no baby, no, and that's just it. I just wanted to explain me confused. I was only half in love.
Should I tell a story?
I want to hear a story.
Okay. So this song came about. I played a festival in Robson Valley, and I met some wonderful musicians and wonderful people, and it changed my life. But I recall a couple musicians who said to me after the festival, just once in your life, you need to pick up a hitchhiker. Like next hitchhiker you see, pick them up. You know, just once, right? Yeah. So I was leaving the Robson Valley Music Festival, and I took a wrong turn, and I was so tired that I drove 4 hours in the wrong direction.
Oh.
And realized I was only a few hours from Vancouver. So I was like, well, I might as well go visit my brother. So I went to Vancouver, and I spent 2 weeks with him, and we had this, you know, we had a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
anyways, on my way out of Vancouver, I don't know how far along the road I was,
Yeah.
but I saw a hitchhiker, and I drove past him, and I drove for a half an hour, and the entire time I'm thinking in my head, like, remembering this conversation I had with this musician, and finally I was like, you know what, the heck with it. So I turned around and I drove back a half an hour, and he was still there, and I picked him up, and he said he was heading to Waterton,
Yeah.
which is about an hour and a half from Lethbridge, which was where I was going. And he said, you know, I figured it'd take me 5 days to hitchhike there. And I said, well, how about I get you there today? So we drove 16 hours straight, and I got him all the way to Waterton, and his name was Ben Finsel, and he he basically hiked all the way across the U.S. By himself, and he had a wonderful plan. He made care packages where he basically had his mother mail them to certain cities,
Yeah.
so that when he came out of the trail, he could just go to the post office and say, hey, I think you have a package from Ben Finsel, and it would have, you know, granola bars or couscous or whatever
Yeah.
he needed, and then he'd head back out on the trail. And his plan was, where I picked him up in Vancouver, he wanted to get to Waterton, where he could hike into Montana and go meet his sister, where I believe, I may be wrong on this part, I can't remember, but his motorbike was there, and he was going to ride his motorbike back home. Anyways, what ended up happening is I dropped him off in Waterton. It must have been 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, and I just left him there. And he apparently the next day he took the shuttle over to Crip Lake and was going to do a hike into Montana, and he didn't buy the permit that he needed to hike into the States, and he got stopped by a park ranger, and he made him turn back.
Oh.
And so he ended up having to hike. He hiked 25 miles in, and then had to hike all the way back.
25 miles.
And
that's so long.
yeah, and he had to hike back to Waterton. He ended up catching a ride into Montana. But yeah, just an amazing human being, and it was great. You know, there's no way, there's no humanly possible way that I would be able to drive 16 hours on my own and make that work. And just with him in the vehicle, I was able to drive straight, and we got there, and then I dropped him off, and I drove the hour and a half back to Lethbridge, and yeah, it was, and then he just disappeared. Didn't really hear from him since then, or shortly after. So yeah, that's that's the story. This is called Ben Finsel. It's the first track off of something that we did.
Oh, Ben, you've outdone me again with your stories. Gravity walks to summitless tops in the morning. You're at the trail's end where you only reappear in the city for a short while. You got the care package that your mother sent. Now you're ready to continue on. We've got a long drive, so let's hear about it. All the way to Waterton, where you've got a long hike into Montana. No, there we were in the dark of the morning. No, there we were in the dark of the morning. And I said, will you be alright? He said, I've had fair warning. No, Ben, you've outdone me again. Oh, Ben, you've outdone me again. Oh, Ben, you've outdone me again with your stories. Oh, Ben, you've outdone me again. And I wish I was there, but I am gone. I wish I was there, but I had gone. I wish I was there, but I had gone. I wish I was there, but I had gone.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey there, I'm Jesse Northey, and you're watching the Prairie Sessions on CKXU 88.3 FM or on the internet. If you're watching this, you're probably watching it on the internet, and if you're hearing it, then you're probably on the radio. So we're here with Matthew Robinson today, and Matthew is currently a resident of Lethbridge, Alberta, but he hasn't always lived here. Where did you used to live, Matt?
I grew up in Prince George, BC, which is a northern town.
Mm-hmm.
Big forestry lumber town.
Mm-hmm.
Spent some time in Victoria and Vancouver, and now I'm here.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a fun fact for you. Did you know there was a recent study that Prince George has the highest crime rate
Per capita.
in Canada.
I know.
How do you feel about that? Did you do some crimes back in your day, or were you fighting against him, or you just minded your own business?
No, I was a good kid.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of that happened after I left.
Yeah. You were the one who were holding it together.
A lot of the news stories and the headlines seem to have happened after I left. So I don't feel terrible about it, but I do recognize that Prince George has a serious problem, and whether people are willing to admit it or not, there needs to be some restructuring. Okay. I think is a good term for that. So. Yeah, cool.
Recording, it's all good. And Matt recently, within the last little while, released an album. So tell me a little bit about that album, Matt. What's it called? Where did you record it? Who did you record it with? What is it? What does it look like?
You can touch it and hold it.
Yeah.
Well, this is the record. It's called Something That We Did, and I recorded it locally here in Lethbridge, which is important to me. I think that Lethbridge as an arts community is building and growing, and I think the more attention we can draw to it, the better. So this was recorded in Leroy Stagger, who is a local singer-songwriter and Canadian performer. It was done at his studio, Rebeltone Ranch, and you can't see him, but Evan Uschenko behind the camera was a big part of that record, and also Tyson Michael, who is an incredible bass player. We had Kyle Harmon, who is a local Lethbridge drummer who's phenomenal. And then we had some outsourcing for certain parts. We had Austrian Douglas, who did lended her talents for vocals, and a guy by the name of Adrian Dolan lent accordion on the record, and Leroy himself played on it, and we wrote a song together. So yeah, it was a group effort, and it was a for me, it was a long time coming. I've been wanting to record an album for years now, and I think the decision to move to Lethbridge was the start of that process. And if it weren't for this move, I really don't think it would have happened. So I'm really fortunate and really thankful for the I guess the Lethbridge community and the music scene and everything that's happening, because there's so much talent here, and yeah, I'm thankful to be a part of that.
That's great. So what's next for you? So you got a CD, and obviously, like, I think there's a little bit of things you want to do about as far as like kind of taking this out on the road a little bit, and what are your goals? Like, what's a realistic thing you want to do in the next little while? Of something you're excited about. You've got new songs too. Like what are some, like, even just I don't know. What are things you'd like to do soon? Even if it's just like tour or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, you know, as an emerging artist, it's important to get out on the road. I'm still learning and learning that process, and I'm really grateful for fellow musicians in the scene who have helped me and given me pointers, and yeah, I think that's the next big step. I've as of late have been touring as a backing guitar player and vocalist for Leroy, and you know, I've learned a lot through that, and I think now it's my time to get out there and get playing and.
I mean, with that, you've had the opportunity to go to Europe and open with some bigger Canadian bands as well, and like so it's been a pretty good
it's
ride for you, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Like I'm ready to do another record, and have a whole handful of new songs that I'm ready to record. So I think the next big step is just to get out playing and look for support from Alberta and the government and hopefully do another project with some great friends like Evan, who's behind the camera.
What a gem. He's right there. Maybe if you look right into my eye and I look at him in the camera, you could see his reflection in my eye, and maybe you could just get a glance at this beautiful human being behind the camera. But if that doesn't work, then maybe I can ask another question. What's the best show you've played, Matt?
I take something from every show. I mean, obviously, like, I've never been outside of Canada, so to tour Germany with Leroy Stagger and band was pretty incredible, and I would put every single show way up there on the list. But a big highlight for me was I was able to do a writer's workshop with Matthew Good and Tom Landa from the Paperboys, and a fellow Prince George Chenel, I believe, resides in Victoria, but singer-songwriter.
Well, Crime's Bad and Prince George. So.
Named Liz Beattie. So that was a really big moment for me, and I think, like, for me it's all about I'm extremely thankful for kind of mentorship and advice, and that show in particular, I remember we were playing and Tom Landa had he was very gracious, and he actually left his post and went backstage around to my side and came up behind me while we were live and doing the performance, and while Matthew Good was actually playing one of his songs, he had the wherewithal to kind of say to me, great job, and I love your songs, and you're doing great, and then went back to his post.
Okay, 1 second. We'll be back. Maybe it won't. We got stuck. Keep going.